Before this video starts, I kind of want to prove to you guys that I do play the game a lot, because I've seen a lot of tips and tricks videos on YouTube with people that only have like an hour in the game almost. But I do have 141 hours in the game currently, 17 days in. My current stats in the game is around 1,500 plus kills. I have 120 plus wins. I don't know the exact wins because it only tells you how many wins you have with full squad and not like with randoms or with just 2 of your teammates. So I don't know exactly how many wins I have, but I know I do have 120 plus with just me and my full squad alone. And I do want to let you guys know that all these tips that I'm giving you guys are things that I use on a daily basis when I do play this game, whether it's in every single gunfight that I play in or when I'm first loading up the game, things that I do, things like that. I use all these tips that I do give you guys in this video. I'm not giving you like any type of BS tips. So hopefully they are helpful to you guys, whether you're new players or slightly a veteran player that might not have known a couple of these tips that I put in here, because some of them are pretty new. If I did help you guys learn anything new in this video, I would appreciate it if you guys give me a like down below so I know I did help you guys out. Also, if you guys are new to the channel and you guys want to see more Apex Legends gameplay or other tips and tricks videos like this, whether it's for other legends, things like that, you can hit that subscribe button down below, and I'll definitely upload some more content like this in the near future. But yeah, hopefully you guys do enjoy the video. Hopefully I do help you guys out. Enjoy the rest of the video. What is up, guys? PetriFy here, and today we're hopping on Apex Legends, and recently you guys have been asking me to give you guys tips on how to get better in Apex. So I put together 10 tips to help you improve in Apex that you may have known about or you might not have known about. You probably see me use a lot of these things in my videos, but you probably didn't really understand them or the story behind them and why I do them. So let's hop straight into this list of tips I put together. So the first tip I'm going to be giving you guys is one that everybody keeps asking, is how do you use your redeploy to go further around the map? Now what I mean by redeploy is by launching off of those balloons that are floating in the air. You know, the ones that you go straight up on and you launch off? Yeah, so everybody keeps asking, how do you go further and keep going as you launch off of that? So the first thing you want to do is actually mark on the map where you want to go, or just look in that general direction, and then look straight up before you launch off of the balloon. And as you're looking straight up, when you launch off, you want to hold right click or whatever button it is on console to look free look around. And pretty much since you do that, your character's looking straight up, but as you are using free look, you are looking around in the direction you want to go. So now when you're doing that, you want to use higher objects like mountains, rocks, trees, even buildings, or even some of the other things that are around the map like skeletons, things like that. You just want to use all those objects to kind of push yourself back up into the air using your jetpacks, and it actually is very useful and very simple. After you do it once, you should understand how it works. Now, if you guys want to change direction, a lot of people don't know this, but you can actually change direction once again while you're mid-flight. So what you want to do is, while you're in free look, look straight up in free look, let go of your free look, and change direction left or right. As you do that, your character will start turning, and you want to make sure you hit another high objective to launch yourself back up in the air. Because as you turn, your altitude goes down very quickly. So just keep in mind you want to get yourself back up in the air when you do that. So hopefully I helped you guys figuring that one out and try to use it on the battlefield. So the next tip I'm going to give you guys is how to counter CAUSTIC's traps. Now this is actually very helpful and useful to use mid-combat. Now if you guys don't know, CAUSTIC has traps that he can throw down, and they turn into like little barrels, and if you go by them, they'll spit out gas by you. And it doesn't really hurt you that much. It does if you sit in there for too long. But what affects you is the view. You don't have eyesight anymore pretty much after you're in that. It goes away very quickly when you walk out, but when you're in it, you can't see anything. So I'm going to help you guys actually counter that. So when you actually encounter a CAUSTIC and he throws on his traps, it's very simple. The very bottom of it has like a little disc looking thing. You shoot that and it disappears. It disinflates and it doesn't spit out gas anymore. Now you want to be very careful, because a good CAUSTIC player would actually put them indoors or even when you run into buildings. You won't expect them sometimes, so you just want to keep in mind that you may not be able to use this on every single CAUSTIC trap. But if they're out in the open and you need to push into a building and it's right there, you just got to shoot the bottom and it will deflate and you won't have to worry about it anymore. So that one's actually very helpful against CAUSTIC, so hopefully you guys do use that in combat when you run into CAUSTIC players. Good luck. The next tip I'm going to give you guys is about the doors around the map. Yes, we're going to be talking about doors in a Battle Royale game. Who knew you could use doors to your advantage in a Battle Royale? So the doors in this game are actually very, very useful. And by that, I mean, one, you can use them to stop people from coming into your building while healing. The best thing to do that is stand in front of the door when they're trying to rush you. and you can literally look at them in their eyes while they're trying to open that door while you're healing yourself. It's pretty funny. I find it pretty funny. But here's the thing. There is a way to counter it, and I never see players doing this, especially when I use the door trick to keep people out. You can kick the door down in 2 kicks. It's not hard. I never really see people kicking down doors. Now, I want you guys to know this is a 2-way tip. So if you guys want to stand in front of a door and stop people from coming in, if you get downed inside a building, you can close the doors while you're knocked down. I'm not kidding. You can do this, and it'll help your teammate from not getting shot from the other side of the doors. You can make it where the enemy team can only come through one side of the building while you're blocking off the other side, unless they kick down the doors, of course. Now, this is actually very useful, and I've used it a lot of times with my team. If I get knocked down in the building, I block off one side of the doors. That means they can only come through the other side, unless they know how to kick down doors. The whole blocking door situation is very useful in multiple different ways. You can use CAUSTIC to trap people inside rooms, and there's a lot of memes going on with it right now because it's pretty funny. Kind of funny how the guy that has toxic gas is the toxic player. Yeah, okay, not funny. Anyways, just know you can press V while you're holding out your weapon to kick down doors, or you can press 3 on your keyboard and you can kick down doors that way as well. Just know when you do kick down a door, the player can obviously see it, and he might be ready to shoot you when you do bust down that door. But most of the time people use it to keep people out or to heal themselves while you guys are trying to get in that way. So just know you can kick down doors. It's very simple. This next tip I'm going to give you, most experienced players will already know this, but there's also a lot of players out there that don't know you can do this. You can press 3 on your keyboard to hold out your fist. Now when you have your fist out, you can actually run a lot faster than if you would if you had your guns out. Now the reason why some people don't understand this sometimes is that when you do pick up a weapon or 2 weapons, you're kind of stuck with 1 or 2 weapons. They don't know you can press 3 to bring your fist back out and run. So just keep that in mind. You guys can press 3, bring your knife out if you're playing Wraith, if you have the knife, or if you just have your fist, you can bring out your fist and run faster. It's very useful and very helpful to escape gunfights and also to get places a lot faster. So I definitely recommend you guys do that because it does make a big difference in your speed. So make sure you guys do press 3 to run. Now this next tip I'm going to give you guys is actually very helpful when you're in gunfights and you need to heal yourself. Now if you guys don't know, when you do heal, you can't really move. You're practically stuck in one spot. You can slightly move but not too fast. So the trick around this is actually sliding down hills while healing. So the whole tip of this is what you want to do. You want to look down a hill, obviously. Take 2 steps, slide, and while you're in that slide animation, hit your heal at the same time, and you'll be healing yourself while you're sliding down the hill. It's very useful to actually use against the people that are rushing you, or if you don't want to sit in one spot and heal while you're getting naded, this is a very helpful tip to get you your health back up while moving pretty quickly. Because when you do heal normally, like I said, you're basically a slug and you can't really move too far. You can move quite a bit, but not that much. There is other tips I can show you guys how to B-hop while healing. It'll help you move around a lot quicker while healing, but that's a little bit too advanced, and maybe I'll do that in the future if you guys want me to, and in other tips and tricks. I'll teach you guys how to B-hop while healing. But as of right now, I'm going to give you guys a simple one. This next tip I'm going to give you guys is also helpful in gunfights is crouching. Crouching is very helpful while shooting at people, or if you guys need to maneuver a lot to stop people from shooting you in the chest area or even in the head. Now, pulling off a crouch a couple times in the middle of a gunfight is actually very helpful. You guys might be seeing me use crouch a lot more in gunfights recently, is because I figured out that it makes people miss a lot. It really does. Now, I know this will really help when it's up against shotguns or even the wingman, which in my opinion are very two powerful weapons that you don't really want to get hit by in up-close gunfights, and crouching does help against those. It also helps against assault rifles, of course, but a lot of people always aim at chest and head level in games like Apex Legends, and crouching will throw them off from hitting you, and it might even make them miss a couple bullets, and it'll give you guys the advantage to actually take them out. Now, if you guys been watching me recently in my videos, whenever I do have an auto shotty, I do spam my crouch button when I shoot this weapon. Now, it's 2 reasons. 1, it feels a lot more accurate when I actually crouch when I shoot the shotgun, and 2, it stops people from hitting me with every single bullet, and I stay alive for a lot longer. So it is very useful, and I recommend people start using crouch more often because it does throw players off as of right now. But later in the future, it might not, because people might start getting better at countering that. Now, this next one I'm going to give you guys is something I get asked a lot, is how do you get better in gunfights overall? And in my opinion, this is my same answer every single time. you want to force yourself in gunfights. I know it probably sounds stupid, but forcing yourself in gunfights helps you adapt a lot quicker to the game and how people play, and it will just overall help you learn a lot quicker than most. For me, I'm somebody that adapts pretty quickly. I learn very quickly, so forcing myself in gunfights is what I like to do in every single game that is new for me, whether it's a Call of Duty shooter or if it's a battle royale. The best way for me to improve myself is to get killed or to get destroyed by multiple different people, and eventually I'll adapt to how they play. I'll learn a lot quicker, and overall I feel like it makes you into a better player by forcing yourself into gunfights. So if you guys are new to gunfights, obviously you don't want to play dumb, but you do want to run to gunshots in this game because the faster you play, you get benefits from it pretty much. You will learn a lot quicker when you do rush people in gunfights. Just keep that in mind. Just don't play dumb and rush into the middle of 3 people. But obviously, if you do that, you're going to learn. And that's the whole point of rushing into gunfights, so you learn things like that. You learn how to approach things, and you will get better overall as the time goes. So when you die in a gunfight, just learn from it. Don't get mad about it. That's something that's very helpful. Hopefully, I do help you guys with that one. Now, this next tip is about the supply drops in the game. It's actually very easy to tell what's an enemy spawned by lifeline supply drop or what's world spawned supply drop. So pretty much all you want to do is when you do hear the sound of obviously an airdrop coming in, there's 2 ways of knowing if it's world spawned. The first one, usually the announcer will say there's a supply drop coming, or a supply drop inbound or something like that. Or you can press M on your map and it'll show like a bunch of blinking circles where the drop is at, and that's how you know it's world spawned. Now, if you guys want to know if it's enemy spawned, you hear that sound once again, the sound of it getting dropped. You press M on your map, and it won't show any circles. So you just kind of go towards the smoke if you guys want to find players where the drop was at. Or you can kind of just use how fast it drops, because when it's enemy spawned, it drops a lot quicker. When it's world spawned, it drops a lot slower. So keep that in mind. That's 2 useful tips if you guys are hunting down players. The best way to find people is probably by lifelines drop, but not every single team uses a lifeline, so keep that in mind. You might run into a game where there's a lot of them, or you might run into a game where there's not many. I've seen a lot of people complaining about the ammo capacity of the R301 and the R99 a lot recently, and I'm going to teach you guys how to actually cancel the swap animation when you're switching weapons after you shoot all your ammo in the R301, because everybody knows the R301 has 18 bullets, and if you run out of ammo, you have to do that long reload. Now, if you guys have a secondary, I can teach you guys how to cancel the whole swapping animation so you can get right back into the fight very quickly, so you don't have to sit there and reload the whole time. So pretty much when you run out of ammo with the R301, you just want to swap weapons like normal, whether it's on or PC where you press 2 or 1, however you switch your weapons, or scroll wheel. Or if you're on console pressing triangle or Y, you can actually crouch when you swap your weapons. So as soon as you swap, you crouch, it cancels the animation, it should whip out your gun instantly. Now, this is probably something they're going to probably fix in the future, maybe not though, I'm not too sure, but that does cancel your animation for whipping out your weapon. It's very useful to actually do that, because if you guys don't know, sometimes there's an animation with your pistol and it might mess up, or with other guns as well. So when you do crouch mid switch, it will cancel that animation, and you'll be right back into the gunfight. Now, this next tip I'm going to give you guys is the help with your aim. Now, this isn't really helpful for console players. It could help a little bit, but it's more helpful towards PC players. Now, if you don't know, you can go back into training after you already did your initial starting of the training, and you can do that by going in the bottom left and switching it to training, then clicking play. Now, when you load into this, you're going to be doing the default tutorial that you normally do whenever you do the training and you first load up the game. You're going to be doing that, but you want to stop at the shooting range when it tells you to go to Pathfinder. Now, if you stop there, you can just sit there at the shooting range and play there for hours if you guys would like. Now, before we get into telling you guys that you can do this to help you improve your aim, a lot of people don't believe that if you just sit there and shoot at targets, it's going to help. But you have to remember that the greatest CSGO players of all time, or even like the greatest aimers of all time, for example, Shroud, he's really good at aiming, and his aim control is insane. His tracking also is really good. And the reason he got that is because he spent hours on hours just sitting inside of bot training and shooting bots in the head. That's what helped him. And he was a CSGO pro, if you guys didn't know. And that's what helped him, is doing that over and over and over again, until to the point that it's just natural for him to snap on players, or snap on players then shoot, instead of shooting and snapping at players all at the same time. So sitting into targets and shooting targets is helpful. Just keep that in mind. There's people that will do that for a whole hour before they actually go online and play. So you can use this training system to actually figure out weapons recoil, but there's really not that much recoil in this game. But you can figure out the recoil patterns, how the bullets fly, things like that. You can do that in there. But what I do recommend is going through this one course that I actually use all the time. My friend Harmless actually showed me this, but pretty much you can go with the wingman. The wingman shoots one bullet at a time, obviously, each time you click. And you want to get kind of close to the targets, kind of where I'm standing on the video right now. And the whole style you want to go through is left, right, left, right, left, right. Now, what this is helping with is snapping to players, and overall, you're going to get really good with your current sensitivity. Now, if you do this about 30 minutes to an hour before you actually play online, your aim should be pretty good when you go in a game. Just saying. But yes, that is very helpful, I promise. That's all the 10 tips I have for you guys today. If you guys want another part 2 of this and I can help you guys out with other things in the game, you can let me know down below in the comments. Or if you guys want me to do a tips for certain characters in the game, whether it's Lifeline or Wraith, those are my two mains that I play a lot. Or if you guys want me to do other ones, just let me know down below in the comments, and I'll make sure to actually play with those characters for quite a bit to actually understand them and at least get over 500 kills on each of those characters before I make that tutorial, so I know I have experience, time played, and I understand how to play the character overall. But yes, leave your comments down below if I helped you guys at all. I would really appreciate it. If I did help you learn anything new in this video, make sure you guys smash the like button down below. I really do appreciate it as well. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more Apex Legends content in the future. Thank you guys for all the support recently. I appreciate it. Peace out.